we just really want everybody to know how important it is to have proper nutrition during pregnancy. And now we know why.
And even before pregnancy, this is the thing that's really interesting. In the case of children who are born with spina bifida, when the neural tube is developing, right in the early stages of conception, within the first 4 weeks after the baby is conceived, the neural tube is embryologically being developed, and that's when that birth defect begins to develop. So before a woman even gets her first pregnancy test, it's already there. So if you're contemplating pregnancy, start folic acid, start a product like Mamalicious early on so that you have good folic acid stores and other nutrients on board as well. You've seen the importance of these methyl donating groups to our genetic profile. Studies have shown it over and over again how important this is.
Yeah, just remember the agouti mice. You know, these little guys are such a good illustration that DNA is DNA. But DNA isn't the whole story. You know, you can have two mice with identical DNA and they can look and have completely different disease profiles. You know, one can be completely healthy and brown and the other one is yellow and fat and has diabetes and is obese and is prone to getting cancer. And this is what epigenetics is talking about.
Exactly.
This is like basically when they did the Human Genome Project, we studied DNA and then realized there was more to it.
There is more to it.
There's a lot more to it.
Well, the example that is often pointed to in the literature is identical twin human children, which I happen to have goddaughters who are identical twins, so identical that you just couldn't even tell them apart, especially when they were younger. What happens is as the epigenome starts to change, my identical twins start to become less and less similar to one another. And you'll see it as twins age, they become a little bit more different. Our environment changes what happens to our genetic expression. And unfortunately, we can control a lot of that environment.
Yeah,
and that's what's really interesting.
What's really cool is these girls who were so identical, both wore glasses, but they couldn't wear each other's glasses.
Yeah.
And that's really like how epigenetics acts. You know, it can act in subtle ways, in grown-ups especially.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this is really so very interesting and so very current. It's what's happening right now. In fact, since 2007, 40,000 papers on the subject of epigenetics have been published. It's so current, it's so cutting edge, and it's so much fun to just see what's going to come off the press tomorrow.
You know, from my standpoint, coming as with my background as a clinical pharmacist and as an organic chemist, I would much rather see an individual try to mediate disease states by starting with a healthy diet early on, keep on that healthy diet, rather than waiting for a disease state to present and then looking to the pharmaceutical side to correct it. I'm not negating the fact that pharmaceuticals have an important purpose. They do. And obviously I've been in that industry and that field for a very, very long time, so I do understand the importance of it. But man, if we can do something today that would possibly alter that gene expression from developing into a disease state, doesn't it make sense to do it?
Yeah, this is preventative medicine.
Yes.
Food.
For yourself and for your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. This is how important it is. Because today, so much of what we eat comes out of a little bag that crinkles or is in a box of some type.
Or a can.
Yeah, nothing that's whole, organic, nutritious, etc. This is why Mamalicious exists, because we realize that the nutrition that we can provide our mommies especially is going to affect their babies and their babies and their babies. That's what we believe.